You don't understand what it looks like in a place like the United States of America yet, because you are going to learn what it's like to exist under the oppressive thumb of an authoritarian strongman doing whatever the fuck he wants to do and ruining the economy and ruining all hope. So for that reason, this is the reason why. This is what weak leadership does, okay? No matter what their political alignment is, this is what weak leadership does. Weak leadership arrests. You arrest your opposition when they're gaining popularity because you got no motion. So dictatorship is fine as long as the country does well. Yes. At this point, yeah, FDR, okay? FDR is a dictator, is the energy that you're presenting here, and I would fucking die for an FDR. Oh my God, here in America, or in Turkey, or anywhere really. Fuck it. Yes. Holy, that is so crazy. I know. I'm going to talk about Imamoglu, okay? Turks, calm down. I know that there is no such thing as free press in your country, okay? I know that you literally have no way to learn about what the hell's going on in your goddamn country or talk about it. I will be talking about it here, okay? I know. Yes, Imamoglu, Imam's son, the son of Imam, okay? We're going to talk about it. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it. He was like the most popular opposition leader that Recep Tayyip Erdogan falsely has decided to imprison. It's just so stupid. It's so ridiculous. It's so obviously a power grab once again from a dude whose popularity obviously has been eviscerated due to his own dictatorial regimes, or due to his own dictatorial attitude. But yeah. Holy moly, there's a massive rally taking place in Turkey right now.
Bize uyku yok. Ekrem Başkan gözaltındayken
He's saying without, well, Ekrem, where Ekrem leader is under assault and in prison, we will not sleep.
Çağlayan'daysa Çağlayan'dayız. Yanı başındayız.
He says wherever he is, we're right by his side.
Saraçhane'dir. İstanbul onu, Saraçhane'yi ona, onu Saraçhane'ye emanet etmiştir. Buradayız, hep birlikteyiz.
We're all here
Başkan'a sahip çıkmak için
we're here to take ownership over Ekrem, the president.
Terk etmiyor mücadeleyi ve sizin iradenizi sahipleniyoruz.
Ekrem Başkan, he's a mayor. He's a mayor of Istanbul, but mayors are very important. They have like governor levels of power, especially the mayor of Istanbul is the most important, just so you guys understand. And he was seen as like the most popular opposition leader in Turkey to create a coalition that could finally topple the Erdogan regime through the democratic process. And that's precisely the reason why Recep Tayyip Erdogan has falsely decided to imprison him. Turkish politics is obviously always going to be a fucking clown show. Except, guess what? So is American politics. You're going to learn, okay? The things that we're watching in Turkey that Recep Tayyip Erdogan is doing, I'm going to be honest with you. Americans, watch closely. This is how it goes. This is how it works, okay? I'm letting you know right now. What's happening in Turkey today is going to be happening in America tomorrow, okay? America is Turkifying at an alarming rate, as I've said before. The Trump administration is Turkifying the United States of America. Little Orbans all around Europe, popping up left and right. And as you can see, this is a major coalition. While Imamoglu himself is, I think he's CHP, right? He's from the Social Democratic Party. You can see all of the flags. You got leftist parties out there. You got the Turkish party like TIP. You have socialist and trade unionist Turkish parties there as well. And all the banners are out. This is the entirety of the coalition. And you know, this is a very, very very frustrating situation for obviously the Turks who have been living under the incredibly cruel Erdogan regime for the past couple of decades. So, CHP is the biggest social party in Europe. It's not a, what do you mean social? It's a social democratic party, and it's barely a social democratic party at this point. It's barely a party at this point. The opposition in and of itself is just basically not Erdogan. Okay? That's it. Erdogan has destroyed everything in the country. In any case, has the watermelon salesman's time run out? That's really funny that you guys are asking that question, because the watermelon salesman's time should have run out a long time ago. And yet he is truly the Teflon Don. Okay. I don't know how to fucking explain it to you. Like, this guy has been able to withstand so much. Adamın diplomasını iptal ettirmek için elinden gelen her şeyi yaptılar son bir aydır. En son saçma sapan bir sebeple iptal ettirdiler. I know. I've been following the stuff I've been following the drama in the backdrop. In Turkey, you have to have a college diploma to retain certain positions in the government. What's ironic, of course, is that Recep Tayyip Erdogan doesn't have a real diploma, and everybody knows it, but it's more so like a fuck you're gonna do about it type situation. And yet he is now using that as a false justification to go after his main opposition leader, who is, of course, significantly more popular. I mean, he's probably the most popular opposition leader, and someone who could definitely overthrow Erdogan. Amına koyayım, was I know, sen iddiaları okudun mu? Diploma sadece bir tane olay okudun mu suçlamaları? Niye okumuyorsun? Niye 3 sene önceden Cumhurbaşkanı adaylarını seçmek istedi CHP? Ben biliyorsun uşağıyım şeyin. İngilizlerin uşağıyım arkadaş. Ondan böyle söylüyorum. İsrail ve İngilizlerin uşağıyım. Anyway, I love when Recep Tayyip Erdogan defenders will come into this chat and try to speak in English and try to yell at me in English and the thing that they will try to do is like either A, claim that I am a servant of the British and a servant of Israel. I mean, the servant of the British one is the funniest one, because like, what kind of motion does England have, right? Like, Turks will say, some reactionary Turks will say, you are a servant of the British, which I think is really funny. Bir gündür internet aşırı yavaş, erişimimiz yok hiçbir şeye. They're saying that the internet is slowed down in Turkey as well. Anyway, yeah, I mean, Turkey is cooked again, once again. Here, let's take a look. Let's take a look at what's going on here, okay? Aktroller her yerde seni bile bulmuşlar. Bunlara platform verme. Ulan ne platformu vereceğim abi? Saçmalama. Burada biz herkesin sağcılarına basıyoruz yani. Türk sağcısı da olsa, nerenin sağcısı da olsa ağzına sokarım laflarına yani. Korkacak bir şey yok.
Opposition have defied a ban of protests. It was issued after the arrest of President Recep Tayyip Erdogan's main political rival, the popular mayor of Istanbul, Ekrem Imamoglu. Well, the protest ban...
Ekrem Imamoglu, which means the son of an imam, okay? Anyway, listen. This guy is the mayor of Istanbul, and the mayor of Istanbul is a very important position in Turkish politics. It's not like fucking the mayor of New York, okay? It's not a real mayoral position in the way that it is in the United States of America. It's closer to a governor in terms of the awesome powers that and the leadership and the responsibility that this person has, considering that Istanbul is you know, the largest city in Turkey. When you are the mayor, you have a high likelihood of maybe even one day becoming the president, right? So he is the mayor and the most popular leader in the opposition, right? He was detained falsely for he had his diploma revoked. For the past week, Recep Tayyip Erdogan has been talking about Ekrem Imamoglu's diploma, okay, his college diploma. He's saying it's fraudulent. Now, it's not, right? But they've just been claiming that, and they basically were able to revoke his diploma and then imprison him and say that, your diploma that we stole from you is actually fake. And now for that reason, you're going to jail because you lied about your educational attainment in order to get this position. Now, in the past, there are a million different reasons and a million different ways in which the Turkish government has falsely imprisoned people. The most famous one initially was, oh, you're PKK. If you're Kurdish, you're a part of the PKK. You support terrorism. You're going to jail. Okay. Then it evolved into, oh, you're a part of the Fethullah Gülen movement. Fethullah Gülen he died, a American CIA asset from the same coalition that Recep Tayyip Erdogan is initially from as well. Right-wing Muslim cleric living in, or used to live in, a right-wing Muslim cleric that used to live in the Poconos, CIA asset, has a lot of fucking schools, has a movement, has a major movement, as a matter of fact, backed by the United States government, backed by the CIA, and some of the more famous people from his movement, of course, are Enes Kanter. So you know exactly what these guys are doing. But sometimes Recep Tayyip Erdogan and his administration will point to people who actually were aligned with the Fethullah Gülen movement, and there was an entire parallel state. I'm not going to get into it, but there was a coup that failed. Erdogan seized control of even more power, declared martial law after the coup, and then did a referendum, changed the constitution of Turkey, made it a presidential instead of a parliamentary system as it was initially. So then now we get to the third movement, I guess, which is bullshit. This is now Erdogan claiming that your diploma is fake and then revoking your diploma and then putting you in fucking jail. Okay? Now, Americans might recognize some of these things that are happening. Okay?
Menfaat temin ettikleri yönde ciddi suçlamalar var. Nihat abi bir dakika. Şimdi
you might recognize, this is the Turkish CNN. Everything is right wing. I don't know what the Turkish channels and their political perspectives are, but I'm pretty sure, like, with the exception of a couple independent papers, they're all right wing. They're all privately owned. They're all basically pro regime. You can't really have like a newspaper, or you can't really have a newspaper or a media outlet that isn't like kind of pro regime. The Turkish government just shut down a whole doner chain because it was linked to FETÖ. That makes sense. So Halk TV, Sözcü TV, please pull them up. Okay, we're not going to watch Turkish TV right now as I try to, like, in real time translate it to an American audience, chatters. Türkler, arkadaşlar, burada ya bunlar Amerikalılar izliyor beni yani. Özür dilerim ama burada bütün gün translate edemem yani Türkçe Söz TV'si adı Halk TV'nin kanalını.
Ban issued by the governor of Istanbul came amid reports of the clampdown on social media platforms. The detention has occurred just days before the opposition figure was due to be announced as the presidential candidate for the Republican People's Party. Well, Mr. Imamoglu posted the following statement just before.
The Republican People's Party, by the way, is CHP, okay? That's what it is. That's the Social Democratic Party in Turkey. Just for Americans, before you think like, oh, what do you mean Republican? Like, no, it's not the same. That's supposed to be like the liberal left party, okay? But it's also weird because like Recep Tayyip Erdogan, despite being socially repressive and fairly right-wing and initially coming to power and doing a whole bit of privatization of state-owned enterprise, he has now basically been responsible over the course of the past decade or so, through this hyperinflation crisis that Turkey is exhibiting. He's been responsible for the massively expansive welfare state as well. So Turkish politics is very difficult to comprehend from the perspective of American politics, where you got liberals and you got Republicans, you got conservatives, you got Democrats. It's hard to frame it in the same way, because while Erdogan is incredibly right-wing and socially repressive, and his major constituency are a lot of reactionary hogs in Turkey, Erdogan's administration basically has expanded the welfare state quite frequently and in a quite significant capacity as well. You know, that's where it is. It's like, it's odd. And also they're technically pro-refugee because Erdogan is pro-refugee, and the left or liberal coalition is kind of anti-refugee as well. They don't like Syrian refugees. That also is a unique part of this process as well, because like Erdogan wants Syrian refugees to come into Turkey because he wants money from the European Union, which he got. He also wants a lot of the power that he gets from having like 6 million Syrian refugees in his country. He also gets to, you know, control what's happening in Syria. Obviously, he did that recently, and that was a big, that was a big deal for him. And also in Turkey, liberals and not leftists, but like I would say liberals are very anti-Arab, because they think like they're very secular. So they see being Arab as like how do I describe it? They see being Arab as like being lesser than being Turkish, like that Arabs are barbaric, and the feeling overall is that they're all super Muslim, and we don't like that. We don't like any sort of demonstration of Islam. So it's like there's a lot of racism there as well. Anyway, but this isn't to say that I think that Recep Tayyip Erdogan is a good person at all. He is not. He is a horrible, incredibly corrupt monster. Incredibly corrupt. Like Recep Tayyip Erdogan's corruption it makes like the Doge, Elon Musk, Donald Trump saga look like the most above board legal thing you've ever seen. Like Recep Tayyip Erdogan and I would say like Vladimir Putin, like these guys do corruption to a degree that is impossible to understand. Okay, you can't comprehend it with your Westoid brain, is what I mean. They basically run their governments like a fucking fleshlight. Okay, there are non-racist liberals too, for those who might take that statement as all liberals, but it's true, there is racism to a degree. Yeah, exactly. There's, of course, it's a massive coalition of people that fucking range from like Kurdish parties, people that range from socialist parties all the way to like the most prominent social democratic party, and even like former Erdogan parties, former Erdogan aligned parties that are also a part of the coalition against Erdogan. So it's massive. It's like basically on the one hand you have Erdogan and you have the nationalist party, the ultra nationalists, MHP, right? These guys, the Grey Wolves. They're on the one side, they're the governing coalition in perpetuity. On the other side, you have the rest of the country that's like, dude, stop, pretty much. So there is no like real ideological consistency in that coalition beyond, we just don't want fucking Erdogan to run the country anymore. Holy shit, he is so goddamn corrupt. So that's what it is.
Arrest.
Üzülerek söylüyorum. Milletimizin
I say with regret that
this guy is doing a this is Ekrem Imamoglu, by the way, the governor of Istanbul. He's doing a get ready with me, as he's like, get ready with me as I go to prison for being falsely detained by the regime that is terrified of being unseated. Okay, that's how you do a get ready with me. All right, you see that, Democrats?
That a handful of minds are trying to usurp the will of our nation by abusing the police. The security forces of this country have massed at the door of my home, homes of 16 million Istanbulites. Hundreds of police are massed. We are facing bullying, but I want you to know that I won't be undaunted. I love you all so much. I entrust myself to my people. Let all our nation know that I will stand upright.
Hepinizi çok seviyorum. Ben kendimi milletime emanet ediyorum.
I will continue to fight with that person and his mind, which uses this whole process like an apparatus.
Aparat gibi kullanan aklıyla mücadeleye devam edeceğim.
So that was Ekrem Imamoglu speaking, issuing that statement just before his arrest. And of course, now we are seeing protesters out on the streets. So we are monitoring the live shot of that as well. But we know that supporters of this Turkish opposition have been defying what was a ban of protests. They are out on the street. So a lot of a fast-moving, developing situation when it comes to what is happening in Turkey. Let's cross over to Istanbul because Emily Wither joins us.
Abi canlı yayında iktidar yanlısı kanal muhabirine saldırmışlar. Akit öfkeli kalabalık tarafından linçlendi.
Diyelim bakın. Bak görüyorsunuz. Canlı yayındayız biz. Bu bizi yıldıran.
So this is a pro Erdogan like regime news outlet, and he's trying to cover the situation. He's trying to cover it, and then the guys figure out what news outlet he's from and just beat the shit out of him.
Bunlar emin olabilirsiniz. Hiç önemli değil bizim için. Bizim için hiç önemli değil. Bizim için canlı yayındayız. Bizim için hiç önemli değil.
Bro, can you imagine? I mean, I'm not going to say anything. Never mind. I am not allowed. I am not at liberty to say how I feel about this. But hey, I disavow these Turks for doing this. Siktirin gidin lan. Ne yapıyorsunuz? Ne yapıyorsunuz? Siktirin gidin lan. Oh no. Oh my God. Okay.
Ne yapıyorsunuz? Ne yapıyorsunuz? Evet görüyorsunuz. Görüyorsunuz. Kimin yerinden kovuyorsun? Çıkmıyoruz. Ne yapıyorsun abicim sen?
He says we're not like who do you think you're kicking out of their position? I'm not moving. What are you doing? I'm not moving. That's what you're saying.
Ne yapıyorsunuz siz? Tamam. Görmüyor musun? Tamam. Görüyorsunuz. Evet.
Bro, the Turkish unks do not play around. Turkish unks do not play around, dude. Amcalar vuruyorlar yani. Dayı mayı ama dayıyorlar yani. Helal olsun, ne diyeyim.
Polislerin yanına geçeceğiz. Polislerin yanına geçeceğiz.
Yeah, he goes, I'm going next to the cops. I'm going next to the cops.
Polislerin yanına geçeceğiz. Gel. Sakin abi. Gel. Polislerin yanına geçeceğiz. Çıkın. Bir dakika. Evet, polislerin yanına geldik. Gördünüz. Canlı yayında getirdik ekranlarınıza bakın. Hiç kimseyi provoke etmedik. Sadece yayınımızı yapıyorduk. Bize nasıl...
Bro, immediately dives into a crowd of cops and just goes, look, you see, we were just trying to do our regular news broadcast. Our ancestors slapped horses to death with their bare hands, lol. The Janissaries, yeah, Yeniçeriler. Aga başta bayrağı vuruyor ya muhabir. Adam düşen bayrağı elemanın kafasında kırıyor. Vay be.
Saldırdıklarını canlı yayında herkes gördü. Bakın.
He's like, yeah, you see, everyone saw it live. They attacked me. Are these guys pro Erdogan? No, the news outlet is pro Erdogan, super pro Erdogan. This is a regime television channel. Yeah, Erdogan is a chameleon. He collaborated with the CHP when it was convenient to defang the military deep state, and with Gülen when it was convenient to access their network. Now it's with the ultra-nationalists. I mean, yeah, he just only cares about power and also making sure that he can use the government coffers as his personal wallet. You know?
Aslında provokasyonun da kimin yaptığını gösteriyor.
Yeah, he goes, this is now you can see who's really doing the provocation, who's doing the provoking here in real time on live news. You can see it.
Biz polisin yanındayız. Hiçbir suçumuz, hiçbir günahımız yok. Canlı yayın yapıyoruz ve bize saldırdılar. Bakın.
Yeah, we didn't do anything wrong. We're just live streaming and then they attacked
Bize
us.
saldırdılar. Bakın şu an polis memurları etrafımıza, polislerin arasına girdik. Bak evet bize el sallıyorlar. Bizi tehdit ediyorlar. Polislerin arasında bile bizi tehdit ediyorlar. Bakın.
Here's the thing, okay? A lot of chatters especially in America, are looking at this and going like, what do you mean? What is their crime here? I don't understand. This is the way that Turkish people see these people is just an extension of Erdogan. Okay. A very significant extension of Erdogan. So everything that Erdogan does, they look at this guy and they go, you are responsible for it because you're doing propaganda for it. Fuck you. Okay. It's a little different. It's not like a Republican guy or attacking like CNN or some shit like that. That's not, there's no comparison. Like the closest analog here would be One America News Network or something. And even then it's not the same. It's like you have no idea what it's like to be undermined and dominated and be fearful of being thrown into jail for basically 30 years at this point. This is like third world stuff. This is developing nation shit. You don't understand what that looks like in a place like the United States of America yet. You don't understand what it looks like in a place like the United States of America yet. Because you are going to learn what it's like to exist in under the oppressive thumb of an authoritarian strongman doing whatever the fuck he wants to do and ruining the economy and ruining all hope. Yet is what I mean, because America is bouldering in that direction. Isn't this why Turkey's not in the EU? No, the real reason why Turkey's not. Yeah, European countries don't actually do riots regularly. Hello? What are you talking about? Which European country doesn't riot all the time? It's harder to figure out a European country that doesn't fucking riot. It's easier to figure out a European country that doesn't riot. Anyway, no, the real reason why Turkey is never going to be a part of the European Union is because it's 90 million Muslims and Europeans are insanely Islamophobic. That would never happen. Are you kidding me? They don't even like Polish people. What are you talking about? You think they're going to be open to Muslims? Get out of here. It's not about riots, it's about democracy. It's not valid in Turkey. Yeah, sure, dude. Yeah, totally. The European nations definitely care about democracy. The fuck are you talking about? You got Hungary right there. Okay, shut up. Also, it has nothing to do with real democracy. That's just cope. Don't listen to any number of different reasons that like the EU claims Turkey can't join the EU. I'm telling you right now, it's not the repression. It's not the fact that it's not democratic or a true democracy. It is entirely because it's just a nation of Muslims. It is seen as a direct faucet of Muslim migration coming from all these scary places. That's what Erdogan used to his advantage as well when dealing with Europe for the longest time. He was like, yeah, you don't want to arrest this like Kurdish journalist in the Netherlands or whatever? Guess what? I will literally send 6 million Syrians to the Greek border right now. That was his weapon to wield against Europe. That was a big part of the reason why he was so pro Syrian refugees. That and because he got money. He'd be like, oh, dude, if you don't do my wishes, if you don't do my bidding, I will ship the Syrian migrants directly, the Syrian refugees directly to your doorstep. Yeah, they've seized all of his assets right here. Ekrem İmamoğlu ortağı oldu. İmamoğlu inşaata savcılık kararıyla el konuldu. They seized his company. This is his construction company that he is a partner in. He's a co-owner of. They seized his assets. They literally threw him in jail. It's just completely ridiculous. Yeah, it's just regular dictator shit, you know? This Erdogan guy seems like he would do great on corrupt talk. What the hell is corrupt talk? Okay, let's continue.
Live now. In a moment,
Does the EU say nothing? Yeah, Erdogan has the most motion right now in terms of foreign policy. So good luck. Like they'll maybe lightly condemn, if they ever condemn him at all. This is the highest he has ever been in terms of his foreign policy. He hand-delivered Syria to America and Israel. He has continued delivering energy to to Israel through his sons logistics and shipping company, while simultaneously doing a BDS on Israel, fake. Okay, they changed the manuscripts to make it seem like they're shipping stuff to Palestine when in fact they're actually directly shipping it to Israel. He is saying that he's going to defend Zelensky. He took that aura farming photo with Zelensky with the umbrellas. Like, it's just, or manifest, not manuscript. Sorry, I said the wrong word. The shipping manifest. He is pro-Ukraine. He cooked Syria at the behest of NATO and America and Israel. This is the highest. He is enjoying tremendous amounts of support. The arc of history bends towards Erdogan. Yeah. So I don't think that the European leaders or anyone really is going to get that mad about Erdogan. As a matter of fact, I would go so far as to say the reason why he thinks he's capable of doing this without much pushback from European counterparts is because of the incredible plays he's made. He's like a playmaker, dude. This is like, if you got a superstar quarterback and I don't know, he's on the verge of winning your fourth Super Bowl for you, and you know, maybe he's got a little bit of a drug problem on the side. Maybe he beats his wife or whatever. People are gonna look in the other direction. They're gonna be like, "Come on, dude, he throws the football really good." That's the attitude. That is the attitude that people have towards Erdogan. Other leaders have towards Erdogan, especially right now. What the F? Why am I following this fool? I'm out. I don't know. Why are you following me, Godfather? Maybe you'll learn a thing or two about politics, though, if you stay in.
We will get the very latest from her, but just a little bit of background to this, because Turkish prosecutors have spoken since that statement by Ekrem Imamoglu. They have said that Mr. Imamoglu has been charged with being head of a criminal organization and also of bribery and extortion. They say that there are also local reports that he's accused of aiding the...
All of the... Yeah. Oh, they hit him with the PKK too? Nice. Bro, there is something really funny about Recep Tayyip Erdogan saying that Ekrem Imamoglu is aiding the PKK, which is a classic. Trump is doing that right now, saying that all undocumented immigrants are actually terrorists. If you support Palestine, you're a terrorist. You're getting shipped out of this country. That's what Erdogan always has done, right? Saying, oh, you're PKK. Oh, you're Fethullah Gulen. Now, what's funny about it, especially saying this right now, is that Erdogan is the officially most pro-PKK guy out there. His coalition literally brought Öcalan, Abdullah Öcalan, the leader of the PKK that has been arrested, life in prison, living on a fucking island, okay? They literally talked to him and told him to do a call to put down your arms to all Kurdish revolutionary groups. Okay, that happened like a month ago. So for him to turn around and be like, and this guy's pro PKK, fuck him, is really funny. Like you literally did a treaty with the PKK like last week. What do you mean this guy's pro PKK?
The banned Kurdish Workers' Party, an organisation that is banned in Turkey. And they say that over 100 others have been detained as part of the same probe. Mr. Imamoglu's party, the CHP, have said that his detention marks a coup attempt against our next president. We know that there is...
Dude, things are so weird in Turkey, okay? The ultra-nationalists that were designed by NATO and the CIA, by the way, which shouts out to the JFK files. It was really funny reading like the CIA operations at the time. The ultranationalists who are fucking straight up fascists and the paramilitary groups that they created with the CIA, okay, through NATO, made became a formative political movement in the country, in Turkey, because they would kill Kurds. They were squashing any matter of like socialist revolutionary activity in my country. They were killing Kurdish revolutionaries. And now the fucking leader of the MHP, the ultra nationalist party, is fucking pro PKK. It makes no sense. It's just insane. It's like the Klan coming out and being like, you know what? The Black Panther Party had some really good ideas. We're actually aligning with the Black Panther Party. That's what it's like to have the fucking ultra-nationalist leader of the ultra-nationalist party come out and be like, yeah, no, this guy, Abdullah Öcalan, we're gonna do nation building. We're gonna do nation building. We're gonna do the we're gonna help these Kurds. Is akin to, no, not like a Latino for Trump. It's significantly more insane than that, okay? I'm telling you, it's like the Klan coming out and being like, we are pro-Black Panther Party now. Okay, we're pro-Black Panther Party. We're pro-Jewish people. We're pro-gays. It's like that.
An election coming up, and that Recep Tayyip Erdogan, after his many years in power, will not be able to stand for re-election. So a fluid situation in Turkey. We can cross over live, as promised, to our correspondent there, Emily Wither, who joins us from Istanbul. Emily, I think it's
Yeah, in 1998, when Erdogan was the mayor of Istanbul, his son Burak Erdogan, who has been living in the U.S. for over 2 decades, hit a singer with his car after running a red light and killed her. The city cleaning employees cleaned the crime scene right after. He didn't get arrested or anything. Yeah. I think bu Şişli'de oldu değil mi? Ben bu bölgede yaşadım. Nerede? Ya nerede? Recep Tayyip Erdogan taking stuff around. Yeah, Şişli. This is literally this happened like right down the street from where I used to live in Istanbul. I know. I know exactly where it happened. Yeah, I mean, this is classic stuff. This is classic Erdogan shit. This is not even scratching the surface. Like, this heinous crime and its cover-up, which is a crime in and of itself, is not even scratching the surface of the rampant corruption from the Erdogan regime.
Important, just remind us what is happening on the ground, because despite a ban, people are out on the streets.
That's right. We are seeing some small protests now in Istanbul outside the office. And
can I go back to Turkey? No, I can't. Not until this stuff gets cleared up. No.
A university here. Those university protests have already been broken up by the police. I should say that the protests now are very small. The authorities are doing everything they can to make sure that people do not gather on the streets here. They've closed many major roads into the city. They have closed down popular metro stops. They have restricted the use of social media for some popular apps. And they have also banned any rallies or protests here for the next 4 days. Whether we see larger numbers coming out onto the streets despite all of those risks, we'll just have to see. In the past, we have seen people gathering on their balconies or gathering at their windows and banging pots and pans in protest. We might see that later on this evening. But at the moment, this is a city braced now to see whether these protests get any larger.
And Emily, just remind us why Recep Tayyip Erdogan, the president of Turkey, why he feels so threatened by the mayor of Istanbul.
The mayor of Istanbul is incredibly charismatic and he's incredibly popular. In many polls, it shows that Erdogan is pretty
glazed, but true. Glazed, but also kind of true.
Much neck and neck with Ekrem Imamoglu. He was due to have a big rally today in support for his presidential candidacy.
Bu haber biraz eski. Belediye binasının önünde 10 binlerce insan vardı. Gördük, izledik. Yeah, this is old news at this point. We literally watched the mass mobilization take place when I first started.
Which is due to be announced in the coming days. The opposition were going to name him as their future presidential candidate. And I should say that critics here are saying that this crackdown could backfire on Erdogan, because in 2019, when Ekrem Imamoglu won the mayor elections here, Erdogan's government said that those elections were rigged and they called for a rerun. In that rerun, Imamoglu came out even more popular, so it could be that this crackdown sees the mayor gaining even more votes. He's very popular across the political divide, and he is seen as a key challenger to Tayyip Erdogan. And this has been going on for months now. The government here has been cracking down on opposition figures for some time. They have been arresting opposition mayors, journalists and business leaders. And I think what's interesting is there has been very little international condemnation of that. So it could be that
Stream doesn't feel choppy today. Yeah, I fixed it. That's why it doesn't feel choppy. Hopefully it doesn't break again. But
President Erdogan is also gambling that the arrest of this mayor will also go by unnoticed, given Turkey's strategic importance at the moment.
Emily, thank you very much for bringing us up to date there.
yeah, for the record, Ekrem Imamoglu is rising in popularity as Erdogan's popularity is finally coming to a close. So for that reason, this is the reason why. This is what weak leadership does, okay? No matter what their political alignment is, this is what weak leadership does. Weak leadership arrests. This is, you arrest your opposition when they're gaining popularity because you got no motion.
This is Ekrem Imamoglu, mayor of Istanbul and the main political rival to Turkey's President Erdogan. He's getting ready not for his latest speech or a mayoral visit, but for the police who are on his doorstep, primed to arrest him.
Büyük bir zorbalıkla karşı karşıyayız ama yılmayacağımı bilmenizi istiyorum.
He was detained this morning at his family home, accused of corruption and aiding a terrorist group.
Böyle bir şeye gülünür sadece. Böyle bir şey elbette ki mümkün değil, olamaz böyle bir şey.
Last year, Imamoglu won a second term as Istanbul's mayor when his party swept local elections. It was the first time Erdogan was defeated across the country in his 22-year presidency. Imamoglu's arrest, along with 100 others today, comes just days before he was due to be selected by the opposition Republican People's Party as their presidential candidate, to one day run against Erdogan. Turkey's government denied any involvement in the arrests.
Yargının başlattığı soruşturma ve davaları Sayın Cumhurbaşkanımızla ilişkilendirmek en hafif.
I can't believe this motherfucker's been in power for 22, dude. That's crazy. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is partially the reason why I hate Donald Trump so much. Because, like, he's so goddamn Erdogan coded. Like, it's just, ay ay ay.
Hafif tabiriyle hadsizliktir, haddini bilmemektir.
The opposition party leader condemned the arrest as an attempted coup.
Geleceğe doğru önleyici darbe yapıyor adam. İktidarı halkın belirlememesi için. Geleceğin
Xi did it first by abolishing term limits. How dare you? How dare you compare Recep Tayyip Erdogan to Xi Jinping? Look at China's trajectory under the glorious leadership of Xi Jinping versus the Turkish politics. Look at Turkish politics. Look at the lira, okay? That's insane. It's not even remotely comparable. Imagine having a competent leadership. Oh my God, that would be so sick. So dictatorship is fine as long as the country does well? Yes. At this point, yeah, FDR, okay? FDR is a dictator, is the energy that you're presenting here, and I would fucking die for an FDR. Oh my God, here in America, or in Turkey, or anywhere really. Fuck it. Yes.
Cumhurbaşkanına darbe yapıyorlar.
Imamoglu's arrest follows a stripping of his Istanbul University degree yesterday for alleged irregularities. Turkey requires...
You're a hypocrite, fuck kings. Shut up. I don't want to hear from anarchitties in the chat right now, okay? Go take a shower. Go take a shower. Go take a shower. Go take a shower. Go take a shower.
As all candidates
it's shower time for you, okay? Go deal with ACAB includes teachers too type shit, okay? Go write another tweet about how ACAB includes teachers as well, by the way. We must abolish all unjustifiable hierarchies.
a university degree. Almost in anticipation of the reaction, Istanbul's governor banned protests in the city. Yet students from the university came out in their hundreds, some struck with pepper spray as they clashed with police. Erdogan's government...
Lira is fine, bro. Diamond hands. Yeah.
...has denied targeting its opponents and says the country's legal system is independent. That, once again, has been called into question today, with President Erdogan further strengthening his grip on power at the expense of his closest rivals.
Here's the democracy now piece on it as well. This is from Dropsite. Turkish police arrested Ekrem Imamoglu, the mayor of Istanbul, and a key opposition figure early this morning as a part of the sweeping investigation into alleged corruption, terrorism links, and leading a criminal organization. Everything that they're saying is a lie. Okay, I can't, like, it's so weird to talk about the country that I grew up in and draw a direct parallel to the country that I now live in, but it is almost one-to-one identical. Okay? They just make shit up. That's it. They just make shit up, and then they go, you're going to jail. That's what's going on in Turkey right now. Okay? It must be you at this point, no? Yeah, no, I'm responsible for this. Okay? Yeah, I did this. Sorry, guys. My bad. Alongside Imamoglu, around 100 others, including political allies, journalists, and business figures, were also detained in connection to the probe. The arrests have heightened political tensions in the country and come just days before Imamoglu was expected to be named the Republican People's Party, CHP's, candidate for the presidency. Okay? Authorities imposed a 4-day ban on protests in Istanbul and restricted access, which is what you do when you have a popular democratic movement. That's what you famously do. Okay? Famously, when you have a popular democratic movement with the mandate from the people, dare I say, a mandate from God, okay, the heavens mandate, this is what you famously do. You arrest virtually every single person that is against you, that has any sort of motion whatsoever, and then you turn around and say, it's illegal to protest now, which obviously didn't stop people from protesting. That's so stupid. Critics have labeled the arrest as politically motivated, accusing President Recep Tayyip Erdogan's government of attempting to suppress opposition ahead of potential early elections. Imamoglu, who previously defeated Erdogan's party in 3 local elections, has been a prominent challenger to Erdogan's 22-year rule. This should give you an idea of how popular Imamoglu is. What? Yeah, they got the Taser Coalition. They got the grannies. They got the unks. They got it all. Anyway. Where were we? Hold on. Oh, here it is. The crackdown coincides with the invalidation of Imamoglu's university degree, a legal requirement for presidential candidacy, raising further concerns about efforts to block his political ambitions. This arrest is seen as a part of a broader campaign targeting dissenters and opposition leaders in Turkey. So, yeah, you have to have a college degree to be able to become a presidential candidate, which is ironic because it's like a known secret that Recep Tayyip Erdogan does not have a real college degree in Turkey. So it's pretty fucking ironic that they are, doing this. That's the reason. That's the angle that they're taking. Recep Tayyip Erdogan does not have a real college degree. It's not even a secret. Everybody knows it. And yet that's not a real point of concern or consideration at all. Yeah, he graduated the year the faculty opened.
Police have arrested Istanbul Mayor Ekrem Imamoglu on what his supporters say are trumped-up corruption charges ahead of primary elections scheduled for Sunday. Imamoglu is a major challenger to Turkey's authoritarian president, Recep Tayyip Erdogan. In 2022, he was found guilty of insulting public officials and sentenced to prison, but has remained free pending an appeal. Turkish police also arrested 100 other people, including one of Imamoglu's close aides. Authorities have also closed roads around Istanbul and banned protests in the city for 4 days, while restricting access to social media sites.
Anyway, so that's the situation in Turkey. Totally cooked. Totally cooked. And Erdogan basically did this at a time when he has like the most motion with Trump, which is a sympathetic figure to Erdogan, in power in the United States of America, coming off of the heels of the massive victory that he delivered to Western powers in Syria. So for him, this is a fairly opportune moment to strike because he's got a lot of motion on the global stage. So yeah. I thought you said Turkish elections were free. Does this make them a dictatorship the same way Russia is? Well, the fact that that guy that he just arrested, it won the mayoral race is the proof of what I was explaining. They do actually arrest a lot of people for sure. I always say Turkish elections are free. They're just not fair. Okay. Like, no, it's not a quote unquote free. I'm telling you, Turkish elections are free. They're not fair. Like it's not like, I wouldn't say it's like Russia even, where it's a sham altogether. Like the Russian elections are completely made up, right? It's just ridiculous. All the opposition parties are also there at the behest of Vladimir Putin, whereas Turkey does have a viable opposition that is fairly, like that's near 50% popularity across the board. Erdogan is better than any other opposition. What? W. Erdogan El Atatürk. Hey do. Erdogan is better than any other option. Atatürk, it's literally a terrorist. I don't see anything wrong with that. Erdogan is better than any other opposition. Yeah, okay, bro. Okay. Sure. Yeah. This is the classic unconditional Ummah supporter in the chat being like, you don't understand. This man is the real caliphate, okay? This man is restoring glory to the Ummah. I promise. You're a fucking idiot, dude. Erdogan sucks the penis of Israel harder than any other fucking regional leader. He sucks Benjamin Netanyahu so hard, he makes Mohammed bin Salman blush, okay? And you're over here being like, oh, he is the glorious protector of all Sunnis in the land. Yeah, suck my dick, okay? You don't know anything. Shut up. There are so many like Pakistani dudes out there that just think that he is this incredible defender of the Islam around the world, you know? Especially with like the Syria shit. I think they really like him now. Anyway, Somalis think that too. Yeah, that makes sense. Turkey has a really good relationship with Somalia, so it's just like, what is the problem? It looks like Turkey's getting some USA freedom. Turkey maintains American nukes in American bases inside of Turkey. Turkey has never had a moment where it didn't have that USA style freedom. Turkey is a NATO country. It's the second largest standing military in NATO. That's the reason why Erdogan gets to do whatever the fuck he wants. Okay. And yeah, no, you're ridiculous if you think that like if you think that Turkey has never had a moment where it was free of USA style freedom. Abi ses kısmı açmak için kullandığın eklentiyi söyler misin? Biraz konu dışı ama kusura bakma. That's so funny. Turkish chatter in the chat going, what's the volume thing that you use? It's called Volume Master. How about you worry about the fucking lira and the fact that you're the fact that the regime that you exist under is crippling the last bastion of like any sort of democratic resistance. This motherfucker's out here being like, what is the volume master that you use? What is the volume extension that you use, bro? Your country is on fire, okay? Calm down about the extension. Kızma amına koyayım. Yok, kızmıyorum. Anyway. God damn, dude. Holy shit.